Hi everybody, this is the first video tutorial working with matrices, and we'll use the TI-83 or TI-84 calculator. On the right, you will see the topics that we'll do, and on the top there's some snapshot of what we'll do on the calculators. I'll just get right into it. The first thing for problem, we need to input those matrices into the calculator. To do that, of course, the instruction on the top, hit the second and then the x to the -1 key. That also serves another purpose later, so we do that. Now when we go to the matrix mode, there will be 3 tabs. The first one is the names and the math and the edit. Under the names, that is where we recall the matrix. On the edit, it is where we put in the matrix and some other operation, and that will be in math. We'll do that later. Right. First, to input the matrix, we have to keep on the last tab in the edit. Now we enter the matrix A, B, and C, just like that. The matrix A, and you see the input screen, it will be like this. Also snapshot on the top. Matrix A has 2 rows and 2 columns, so 2 by 2, and we'll just enter the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 5. And when we're done, hit second mode. Now we're back to the home screen. Right. And then we'll do the same thing for matrix B and matrix C. Second matrix, go to the last tab, go to matrix B, and now we input the matrix B. Also 2 rows and 2 columns, and we enter the numbers 2, -3. To put in -3, we use this negative sign and not that subtraction sign. So -3, -4, and then enter 6. That is the matrix B, and then we hit second mode. Now we're back to home screen. We'll do that again for matrix C. Matrix C has 2 rows, 3 columns, -2, 4, 0, 5, 1, 7. Right. And once we're done second mode, now we're back to home screen. Right. Now if we want to recall it, we should highlight that under the first tab. So if we want to input or change the matrix in the last tab, to recall it in the names, the first tab. So if it's highlight the first one, hit enter, they'll give you the matrix A. Just check to make sure that we enter everything correctly. Right. And the matrix C, we have to highlight 3, then hit enter to give you matrix C. Right. Now we put all the matrices in the calculator. Now we just do the operation. It's very straightforward. What you see is what we'll type in the calculator. So here we have 2a minus 3b. So we have 2 times, on the first tab, highlight 1, hit enter. That 2 times matrix A minus 3, second matrix B, and we'll just give you the answer directly. And this is the tutorial about how to use the calculator. I assume that you know how to do this by hand. just a way to check it. Right. Let's just write it out. Right. Sorry, my phone. Right. Next we do B times C. So second matrix, highlight matrix 2 for matrix B times highlight 3 for matrix C, and just B times C. We don't need to put, and we should not put anything in between the B and the C. So we have that. That is the result. We can also find the inverse of the matrix. For example, the matrix A, the inverse key is the x to negative 1, that button. So we hit that, we will have the inverse of A. And then the matrix B, inverse x to negative 1, the same button to enter the matrix mode. And they said some error, singular matrix, and that of course the matrix B has no inverse. So when you see the error like this, that means we cannot find the inverse of the matrix. So we say B inverse does not exist. And then we just quick. Matrix C times matrix A. So matrix C times matrix A. And give you another error. This says dimension mismatch. If we check the dimension of C is the 2 rows, 3 columns, and A 2 rows, 2 columns, and the middle numbers do not match. We have no match here, so that also does not exist. And quick. And finally, we can do the transpose of the matrix C. And then we go to the matrix. Under the math, we see there are a lot of options. The transpose is the second option. What it does is it turns the matrix 2 by 3 into 3 by 2. The rows become the columns, and the columns become the row. So that's the first part of the tutorial. We enter the numbers into the matrices and then working with the matrices using the calculator. Now we go to the second part, actually the last part, about the matrix equation. Here are some examples. Right. In the matrix equation, what we need to do is we turn the system of equation into the matrix equation. So what we do, we pull all the coefficients, and that will be the matrix A. Just the coefficient, meaning the numbers, the constant that go with the variables. So we have 1, 5, 3, and minus 4. That's the matrix A. The matrix X will be the matrix of the variables. So it will be just X and Y. Sorry, when I move the camera do the autofocus, and it change the, after a while it will settle into the clear view again. And then the matrix B will be the constant on the other side. So to note, A is the coefficient, this the variables. And note that we cannot enter that in the calculator, and we cannot enter the variables into the calculator, only constant or coefficient, also constant, of course. Right. Before we put those A and B into a matrix, notice we used A and B earlier. If you want to, we can just enter the information directly into it, or if you want to delete all of the earlier entries, this is what we do. Hit the second and then the plus sign, that will go to the memory management, go to the second management and delete. We go to matrix, option number 5, and it have all 3 matrices. It will just hit enter, just hit delete, delete and delete. Now it's all clear. Let's see, all clear. Now we can put the matrix A and B in here. Go to the edit, the last tab, 2 by 2, and we enter the numbers 1, 5, 3 and -4. Once we're done, second mode, back to home screen. Now back to the matrix B, this time edit, matrix B, 2 rows, 1 column, 3 and -10, -10, and then quick. Right, so we have matrix A and matrix B in the calculator. You cannot enter X. However, we will have the matrix equation AX equal to B, and if we want to solve for X, we multiply the inverse of A on both sides. And A times A inverse, or A inverse times A, is an identity matrix, the identity matrix, which when you multiply anything will be itself. And this is what we have. For the matrix equation AX equal to B, solution is A inverse times B. So pretty much we'll put the matrix A inverse times the matrix B, and we have that. So will be -2 and 1. Now compared to the matrix X earlier, matrix X will have 2 components or 2 entries, X and Y. So this is X, this is Y. So we write that the solution. Next we go to this example. Similar to the previous example, we put the matrix A, matrix X, and the matrix B. So matrix A, all the coefficients 2, 1, 1, 1. We have no y here, so that will be 0, and z is 1, 3, 2, 2. Matrix X, the variables x, y, z, and matrix B, the constant 10 to 17. Right. I go to second matrix, enter the matrix A. This is 3 by 3. I don't need to delete it, I just enter the numbers on the top of it. 2, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 3, 2, 2. Right. And then second quick and second matrix. Now put in the matrix B. 3 rows, 1 column. 10, 2, 17, and then we quick, and then we just need to enter again x equal A inverse B. The solution is going to be the same. But since I entered A inverse B previously, so all I need is just hit the second and then enter. Just give me the last entry that I put in the calculator, or we can just go up. But second, enter, so that's the last entry, and we have 3, 5, and -1. So we say x is 3, y is 5, and z is -1. Right. So we have that, and now we're on to the last example on this one. Again, we're going to put in the matrix A and matrix B. Matrix X we know is going to be the variables x, y, and z. Don't need to do that, so right. Just write out 1, 2, -2, 2, 5, 0, 1, 1, -6, x, y, z for the matrix X. This is big X, this is a little x. Matrix B, 4, 3, and 7. Once again, the matrix equation, Ax equal to B, so x equal to A inverse times B. So we put in the matrix A, 3 by 3. Right, 1, 2, -2, 2, 5, 0, 1, 1, -6. And the matrix B, also 3 by 1, 4, 3, 7. Once we're done, quick, and again negative A inverse times B, so we could just hit second enter, but I just do that again. A inverse times the matrix B. Right, we have the singular matrix. That was an error back when we tried to find the inverse of matrix B. So in that case we know that the inverse of matrix A does not exist. So in this case, we may have no solution or infinitely many solutions. So here we write A inverse does not exist. All we can say after that is the system has no solution or infinitely many solutions. Right. Because the solution depends on the inverse. If the inverse does not exist, we can only say that it might have no solution or infinitely many solutions. For the next tutorial, where we work with the Gauss-Jordan elimination, then we will be able to tell if it has no solution or infinitely many solutions. For now, that will be all for the first tutorial about using the calculator TI-83 or TI-84 to work with matrices. Thanks for watching.